The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Lori points out that the other people, Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Rider, and welcome to another Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills episode review. What if one day Goldar came down to talk to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, offering them the chance to together take out Rita Repulsa or Lord Zed, and then leave Earth forever, settling for the galaxies that they had already conquered? Would those heroes be satisfied with the safety of Earth, knowing that other worlds were in danger? Does a hero only have to defend the place that they live and care about, or do they have a greater obligation? Let's find out by taking a look at the 28th episode of TTAF, Turncoat. Please make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see all of my videos. Ring the bell, get your notifications set up so you're notified whenever I post brand new videos. And if you would like to support this channel financially in any way, you can check me out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos. Well, it was nice for the show to take a step away from the familiar, but now it goes running back to its comfort zone of familiarity as the episode starts on the planet Molecula. Gorganis is complaining about rumors of treason and plots about gunpowder and etc., etc. I'm not really sure who's spreading these rumors, seeing as the only ones we see on a regular basis are Gorganis and Lechner. NinjaBot, who has a voice today because it's going to be required to talk by the plot, insists that it is loyal and Gorganis agrees. But just as Gorganis sends it to Earth, NinjaBot zaps Gorganis, knocking him out. Okay, so I've been trying to get these videos done faster so I can get more of them out since I realize I'm running out of time to get this show finished. And then the show starts throwing weird, complicated scenes at me that I have to take a moment to explain. At the cafe, Lori is applying for some kind of teen achiever thing, whatever, it's not important to the plot. Drew comes in and says she won't be able to make it to detention because she has to work. But Lori has asked to see the cafe's schedule, and they showed it to her for some reason. So she already knows that Drew is off work. Gordon walks in wearing an arm brace and complaining about carpal tunnel syndrome, begging out of detention. The two basically say that there's a hot girl right behind him, and he straightens his hair with the arm that's supposed to be hurt, blowing his cover. Then Swinton walks in, and the three just go, "No."
Shut up!
Not gonna get any less weird, heroes. So the school hallway has been hit hard with graffiti. I'm guessing they snuck in overnight. What's more, the graffiti is apparently racist or hateful. Looking at it, I wasn't even able to make out any words. A new assistant principal walks out, basically just to insult Drew and then promptly leave. The Sentinels have a weird conversation about hatred. Gordon says that he just doesn't understand hating people. And then they promptly ruin the chance for character development, as Gordon says if someone doesn't like someone else, they should just get richer than them, or become their boss.
I really hate you.
So here's an interesting development. Nimbar has apparently gotten the memo about Earth having gender-segregated bathrooms. The Sentinels' tattoos flash and they head to the bathrooms to go through the portal, but the girls go to the girls' bathroom and the boys go to the boys' bathroom. In the cave, Nimbar tells the Sentinels about NinjaBot, giving us a really abandoned warehouse district line about the city having been evacuated just beforehand. However, NinjaBot only wrecked 2 or 3 things and now seems to just be waiting. The Sentinels arrive in the city and NinjaBot says it didn't come to fight. Centaur doesn't believe it, taking a shot at it, but it dodges that and then holds Taurus at sword point. Again, NinjaBot insists that it didn't come to fight, saying that it has other plans for him and the Sentinels. Taurus passes out for some reason, and NinjaBot grabs him, portaling away. On Molecula, Lechner gripes at the unconscious Gorganis when NinjaBot portals in with Taurus. Lechner realizes that if it has brought a conscious Sentinel to Molecula, Ninjabot must be the rumored traitor.
Villains are stupid.
I know, right?
Lechner says that Ninjabot cannot harm Gorganis, having sworn an oath not to do so, and unable to lie about that due to its code of honor. However, Ninjabot says that does not prevent it from bringing someone else to do the deed. It sounds a little like I didn't shoot that person, the gun did, but I do get the point. Ninjabot makes Taurus a very tempting offer. If the Sentinels will help him eliminate Gorganis, and Gorganis is unconscious at this point, so that should be pretty easy, and let Ninjabot take power, it will immediately withdraw all of Gorganis' forces from Earth and leave forever, settling for the galaxies that Gorganis has already conquered. And, as Lechner points out, Ninjabot's code of honor means he cannot lie about this. The offer is legitimate. Gordon returns to the cave, telling the other Sentinels about how he was brought to Gorganis' lair. They're all shocked that he survived, when I know for a fact that he's been to that lair at least once before. In fact, I'm pretty sure all 4 of them have been to Gorganis' lair at least once before. He tells them about the offer, and Nimbar confirms Ninjabot's code of honor. If that's what he said, the offer is absolutely legitimate. If they take him up on it, their planet will be safe. At Drew's, the Sentinels debate the proposal, and the moral question comes to full light. Sure, Earth would be safe, but what about the other planets in the galaxy? Lori points out that the other people of the galaxy didn't exactly come running to Earth's defense. Swinton suggests a secret ballot, and they all vote. I immediately said, before they even voted, there's 4 Sentinels, we're gonna get 2 yeses and 2 nos, it's a tie.
I was right!
The Sentinels return to school, and it turns out the 4 of them made their votes really easy to decipher. Lori drew a smiley face in the E of her yes vote, and Drew wrote, "Oh sure, totally, not." We knew already that Gordon was a solid yes, which means that Swinton was the other no. The 2 groups are pissed at each other for their contrasting views. New character Jerky McAssistant Principal comes out, upset that the graffiti hasn't been cleaned up yet. The Sentinels try to claim that this is new graffiti, and I think they have a case because I'm pretty sure on the first set some of it wasn't pink, it was all black. But he basically says that the only way they would know that for sure is if they were responsible for it, so either way, they still have the job of cleaning it up. Their tattoos flash, and they leave again. So the Sentinels have been summoned because the 24 hours Ninjabot gave them to make their decision about his offer are just about up. Nimbar says that he can't help them decide, and then promptly helps them decide. He shows them a bug person, a big ugly bug person. Apparently, they don't even bother rendering them, we don't get to see them, just the Sentinels' reaction to them, saying they live in the first system that would feel Ninjabot's wrath. And this somehow convinces Lori and Gordon that maybe they shouldn't just pass along their problems to someone else. Ninjabot returns to Earth, and the Sentinels go to deliver their response, probably at the end of Nitron's sword. They tell Ninjabot about their rejection of the offer, and we get a pretty good fight scene. They do indeed form Nitron, and we get a nice fight set to another new song from that potential theme song soundtrack I've mentioned before. Lechner wakes up Gorganis and alerts him to what's going on with Ninjabot, and he wakes up just in time to hear Ninjabot give the Sentinels one more chance to help it take down Gorganis. He screams for Ninjabot, who portals back to Molecula just as Nitron delivers the zappies. Back in the cave, Nimbar congratulates the Sentinels on another victory, and it turns out the bug people were watching on their #1 reality TV show and sent them a letter of thanks written in an ink that is deadly to humans on touching it. Deadly ink reminds the Sentinels about the graffiti, and telling Nimbar about it, he delivers this really heavy-handed moral statement about how the graffiti is only a symptom of the hatred that festers inside a person and rots away at their very soul.
Excuse me, the f did you just say?
Nimbar gives Swinton a hairdryer, I mean a prototype debonding gun, and you can probably see where this is going. The Sentinels return to the school, almost out of time to clean up the graffiti before assistant teacher, principal, whoever, sees that the job's not done. Swinton decides to try out the gun, and it erases all of the graffiti, impressing the assistant principal, who gives Drew a really creepy pat on the shoulder as he leaves. The Sentinels start fighting over what to do about the gun now, drop and break it, and immediately start screaming at each other.
That's the sound of my soul escaping my body.
Episode 28, Turncoat. Prose, very creative premise, 2 significant moral lessons, and Nimbar as mentor but not commander. Cons, too much time spent on the wrong moral, Gorganis' lack of involvement, and the constant bickering. It's another one for the wasted potential pile. Turncoat gets 2.75 signs out of 5. This is probably the best premise for an episode that we've had thus far. It absolutely makes sense that Gorganis' monsters, who aren't all just mindless drones, might rankle at his command now and then and even think about overthrowing him. I like how they eliminated from the very beginning the possibility that this was all going to be a trick, more on that later though, with Ninjabot's Code of Honor. This episode throws 2 interesting morals at us, one more related to the Sentinels about not passing along your problems to someone else, and the other about the toxicity of hatred, more relating to the Sentinels' normal lives, and sadly still very relevant all of these years later. Both of those morals are deeper than you'd expect for this kind of a show, and it was interesting to see them wrestle with them. When the Sentinels asked Nimbar to straight up break their tied vote, I was simply expecting him to do so. He runs their team. I'd expect him to at least have a vote equal to the other 4 Sentinels. But he doesn't. He just gently provides them a little more context for their decision and very gently reminds them that their mission isn't just about saving Earth, but the entire galaxy. I like that this episode had 2 interesting, complex morals, but I think they spent too much time on the wrong one. This episode stopped solid at least twice to deliver nigh-on speeches about the futility of hatred. It's a very good message, and like I said, still sadly relevant in today's times, but they just kept cutting away from the deep, interesting moral dilemma of Ninjabot's offer to talk about hatred in a very general sense, disconnectedly. I did like that Ninjabot got the lion's share of the villain's focus this time and Gorganis was just a bit player, but is it weird that I missed him? I'd have almost preferred Gorganis to have been caught in a stasis field or something, unable to act but aware of everything that was going on. Instead, he's unconscious for most of the episode and all of his focus is given to Lechner.
Excuse me, what?
And yes, the constant bickering. I get so tired of how much these people fight every single episode. It's like the producers are terrified that we are going to think that these people are friends. We have to fight that MMPR copying feel when they only fight with each other when they're under a spell and they'll be getting along just fine, friends forever by the end of the episode. It's exactly the opposite with this team. When they are getting along with each other, don't worry. They will be fighting and bickering like spoiled teens by the end of the episode. For Nimbar's sake, Drew even says at one point that if they accepted Ninjabot's offer, she could stop hanging out with these people because it's hurting her cred at the cafe.
Close your mouth and stop talking.
So, full disclosure, my first draft of this script included a plan for me to start double billing these reviews, since I realize I'm running out of time to get this show done before Beast Morphers returns in September.
How do you ride like you're running out of time? Right day and night like you're running out of time.
But I mean, this show is popcorn and cheesy enough that it should be pretty easy to boil down, right?
I was the wrong one!
Instead, it's just weirdly complicated. Episodes like this are surprisingly complex, but also make really strange errors, both of which are things that I think are worthy of discussion. I will find some way to speed up this process, but apparently shorter scripts is not how I'm going to go about it.
Why do you right like it's going out of style. Right day and night like it's going out of style.
Maybe I can manage to trim things down for my review of the 29th episode, Winner Takes All. Dude, the teens decide to be friends, but friendship has its pitfalls, such as when Emperor Gorganis sends Ninjabot to attack Earth. Ninjabot in back-to-back episodes, but they're actually going to listen to me and try to have these people be friends? This might actually be good. That is going to wrap up another Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills episode review. Thank you heroes so much as always for watching. Now that the episode's done, you can let me know what you thought of this episode and my review of it down in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed this video. Until next time, may the power protect you. So the school hallway has hit The Sentinels arrive in the city, and Ninjabot says it doesn't... He will eat... But maybe they just shouldn't pass the... They tell Ninjabot about their rejection of his impressing the what their influence and mission has on doing this take again.